Well, welcome back to another baseball game. Um, my name is Brian Hafferkamp, and I'm the designer of On Base Baseball, Baseball On Base Advanced, Quick Play Baseball, and this game here, and another game called Yaya Tabletop Baseball, which is a lot of fun. This game is a new game that I've been working on, and it's based off of a Risk. So the game Risk, it's based off of a Risk style of play, and I'm testing. These sort of first pass at some cards that I made for the first time. So team cards, and it's got all of the player outcomes on it for pitchers and batters both. So I'll just play testing it using the '84 National League Championship Series between the Padres and Cubs. And the first game went to the Cubs 5-2. It was a complete game win for Rick Sutcliffe. Taking the loss was Eric Shaw. Um, in this game, we have Thurmond going for the Padres against Steve Trout. I believe it's Steve Trout, the right-hander for the Cubs, their best pitcher that season. And this is going to be played. I believe, it was a day game at Wrigley, and played on October 3rd, 1984. So not too far off from where we are right now. And it's October baseball for real now, and in the real world. And this is going to be some October baseball on the tabletop. So let's get into this. And I'm not going to explain a lot of the roles. I have another video in the designing a tabletop sports game series. I'll just add this to that collection too, although it doesn't. I'm not really going to talk through the playtesting, but this is just a playtesting phase where I'm testing the mechanics. Do I like it? I'm starting to add in more elements, like base running and any sort of extra flavors of the game that I need to kind of make the game feel a little bit more realistic as we go along. And hopefully I can pull up the game rules. Let me do that real fast. Okay, so I got the rules pulled up just so I can sort of reference them with the stolen bases and taking an extra base, especially. That's I've been trying to use those and incorporate those more into the game. Okay, starting lineups for the Padres. Wiggins at second base, Tony Gwen in right field, Steve Garvey at first. Kevin McReynolds is in center, Martinez in left, Terry Kennedy catching, Salazar coming off the bench here, and he'll be starting at third base, and then Thurman, the pitcher, batting ninth. For the Cubs, it's I don't know if it's Dernier or Dernier. And center field, Sandberg at second. The Sarge playing left. I think it's Keith Moreland playing right. Ron Say at third. Jody Davis behind the plate. And Leon Durham at first. Larry Boa is at short. And then Trout is our pitcher batting ninth. So it should be a good match here. And the way we do this is Steve Trout's an A pitcher, so he's going to get 3 dice. When he's facing a D batter, he'll have 4. That's why I have the 4th dice here. And then for a C batter, they get 1. A B batter gets 2, and an A batter gets 3 dice. So it's going to be Trout leading off against Wiggins. So it's 3-1. And here's the first pitch. And really, because there's only 1 dice for the defender, we're only going to use the highest one. And so tie goes to the batter. So now we have 2. Okay, he's got to roll a 6 to stay in the at bat, and he can't. So that's going to be a roll to Steve Trout, a 35. He's an A pitcher, so we go A 35, and that's a grounder to the third baseman, Say. And Say is up with it and over to first for out number 1. Next batter up is Tony Gwen. He's an A, so he gets all 3. And so we're going to roll 3 against 3 and then compare those dice. So 4, 4, 1 and 3, 3, 2 means that's a win there. These 2 are a loss. So it's going to be 2 to 1 is our roll. There's a 5. 5 or 6 keeps him in it, and he stays in the at-bat. That's a pretty good roll with a 4. And he wins that at-bat 4 to 2. Trout does. So good battle there. 3-6 to an A pitcher is going to be a fly ball to center field. And that'll be out number 2. Next up is Steve Garvey. We have 4. So for a D batter, you add an extra dice for the pitcher. So the D batter has to go, he has to go up against, he has to win 4 times basically. Okay, so he takes out that 6. And let's see, then another 6. And he can't hold up against that one. So Trout wins that battle. And a 6-6 to an A is going to be a little number out in front of the plate. Goes 2-3 on the put out. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Trout. Next up is Thurmond, the left-hander. He's a B, so he's only going to have 2. Against a D, he's going to add a 3rd die. And he'll be facing off against, I guess it's, excuse me, Dernier. I'm not sure how you say his name. Dernier probably. All right, so with the win there, 4, that's a good roll. 6 is even better. So the batter wins that one. And this is Dernier. I'm going to go with Dernier. A 4-5 to a C. So a 4-5 to a C is going to be a knock. And so that's a base hit to start the ball game for the Cubs. Got 3 against 2 now, so with an A batter, he has the advantage in the roll of 6-3. And no match for the 6-6 of the batter. So that advantage goes to Sandberg. A 2-4 to an A is a, sorry, 2-4 to an A is going to be a walk. So right off the bat, 2 runners on, and nobody out. And it's it's going to be the Sarge up, Gary Matthews. Who had a nice game in the first game. So 4 and a 3, and Matthews' roll is a 5 and a 5, and at this point, they're laying the wood to the pitcher. And Matthews, what do we got? A 6-6 to a B. B6-6 is going to be a hit by pitch. So he goes down to first base as the ball clips him. And that hit by pitch is going to load the bases in the first inning. Nobody out, and Keith Moreland to the plate. So there's a good roll. And that wipes out the batter's opportunity. A 1-5 to an B. 1-5 to a B is going to be a grounder to short. For these, I've been playing just a 6-3. I have some specific double plays in here, so I'm just going to play this as a 6-3. That's the first out of the game. It's going to score a run. So on the fielder's choice, we're going to get an RBI for Moreland, who knocks in the first run of the game, and he'll be facing Ron Say next with all the batters should move up. So runners at second and third with 1 out. Ron Say to the plates. And he eliminates that die. And he eliminates that one. Look at Ron Say coming through. And a 3-6 to a C. And that's going to be a base hit. So we get a first chance to test out our base running mechanic. And basically we have 2 dice for the runner and 1 die. 1 die for the outfielder. Really, when you look at the possibilities, it's about a 2-to-1 odds to send the runner. Most of the time you should send the runner. I'm not taking into account any outfield arms or anything like that. This is just a general. Take an extra base. So this batter here is going to go to third. They're going to send him home. And we got the outfield dice here. So one of these 2 has to beat that 5. And they can't, and so he gets thrown out at the plate. So then, I guess we just call it a fielder's choice because we don't have an actual outfielder. And so there is an RBI here, and they miss the opportunity for 2 as they get thrown out at the plate. 2 down now in the inning. That's the second out. And it'll be Jody Davis to the plate. He is a C. You get a 5 there. And a 4. So that's a win to the pitcher. A 4-5 to a B. And it's going to be a fly out. A fly out to 10 is not possible. Don't know what happened there. We got a couple of flyouts to 10. I don't know how you could do that. What should that be? We'll just call that a... we'll get it on both of them. What was I thinking? Fly out to 10. I have no idea. We'll call that a fly out to 7. We'll say this to 9. 9. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Here. This is the way you test and play things, because you're eventually going to run up into some sort of mistake that you made. There's one here too. So, okay, so we'll call that a fly out to right field, and that's going to end the inning. So 1, 2, 3 outs. The Cubs do get 2, and they take a 2-0 lead. In this one, it's going to be Trout back out to the mound against McReynolds, Martinez, and Kennedy. McReynolds, a B batter. And we'll take the top 2. So that's going to be 1 win and 1 loss for the batter. So this one's off, and this one's off. So a 1-to-1 roll here. Oh, excellent roll from the pitcher, and he takes that at bat as he battles. A 1-1 to an A is going to be a grounder right back to the pitcher. So we go 1-3 on the putout. And that brings up a C batter, Martinez. So I'm going to take the highest one, and he wins that easily. And for the pitcher, a 1-5 to a B is going to be a grounder to the shortstop. And the shortstop is Larry Boa. No problem with that one as he picks it up and fires to first for out number 2. This time it would be Terry Kennedy going in the 4-against-1. And he takes care of the batter there. Trout does a 2-6. 2-6 to a B is a grounder to second. So this time that's Ryan Sandberger takes care of the play. And so far, 6 up, 6 down for Steve Trout. In the bottom of the second inning, it's going to be Leon Durham, B batter. So it's the even strength roll here. So 3 and a 2, a 2 and a 1, and that's a decisive win for the pitcher. 4-4 is going to be a strikeout. His first K of the game. And it'll be Larry Boa. So this time it's going to be 3 against 1 because Boa is a D. Boa had a good game the last time. He was 3 times. He had won that roll and had to win 3. It's pretty crazy. 4-6 to a B. That's going to be grounded to the second baseman. You can see that would have been a double play if a runner had been in a double play situation. And Steve Trout is decidedly not an A. He's a D batter. So we're going to have the same 3-on-1 situation here. Alright, so he takes out the first. He's got to roll a 6 here. And he does. Look at that. Trout hanging tough in this at bat. He's got to roll a 4, 5, or 6. And he can't. And so the batter, or the pitcher, wins that one. 5-6 is going to be a pop out to the second baseman. So Trout does get wood on the ball, but pops out to second. And that's going to be the end of the second inning. Our score is 2-0. Cubs over the Padres in Game 2 of our NLCS replay in 1984. Padres visiting Wrigley Field in this one. They already lost the first game 5-2, and they're down 2-0 here. And don't know where the spark is going to come from in this offense, really. They had a really good pitching staff, but don't know where the spark is going to come from. I mean, these guys are electric in their pitching staff, so especially their starters. And this is going to be Salazar, Thurmond, and Wiggins in this inning, so heavily in the advantage of Steve Trout. He rolls a 6, and we get a 1 there. So that's going to go definitely in the favor of Trout. We get a 3-5. 3-5 to an A is going to be a grounder to the third baseman. So Salazar grounds out to Ron Say for out number 1. And another D batter. Trying to run the gauntlet against the pitcher, and you can't do it. A 3-5 to an A is another ground out to third base. Say is up to the challenge, and that's 2 quick outs for Steve Trout. He'll be facing off against Wiggins in this at bat. Wiggins 0-1 with a ground out to third, and he's able to win that roll, but not that one. So Steve Trout on the top end of this at bat, ground out to shortstop. That's going to be 6-3 on the put out, and that will be another 1-2-3 inning for Steve Trout, as he's put together no hits in the first 3 innings. We've got back to the top of the order for the Cubs. It's going to be Dernier, Sandberg, and Matthews. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Dernier. Probably not Dernier, but you never know. Okay, so this will be a 2 against 1. We'll take that roll there. And that's a win for Thurman the lefty. 2-3 to a B. Yeah, it's going to be a fly ball to right field. Let's get on the right track here. Fly ball to right, and that'll be out number 1. Sandberg now stands in. He has the advantage in this at bat. So we go 6-4 here. That's a pretty good roll. And that's going to vanquish Sandberg. And a 1-5 to a B is a grounder to short. Shortstop in this game is somebody. How did we miss Nettles on this? We're missing a batter. Well, that's embarrassing. Let me figure this out. Alright, so I figured out the issue. Left out the shortstop here. So the ground out for Sandberg was to Templeton. Templeton also D, so no harm, no foul, but I'm just going to lay that ground out on Thurmond. Okay, 2 down. And the Sarge, Gary Matthews, to the plate. He is a B batter, so he'll be facing off even with the pitcher. So that's a 1 win and 1 loss for each. And let's see. Oh, not a great roll. And a great roll. So the win goes to the batter, and a 2-4 to a B. Batter is going to be a walk. So 2-out walk for Matthews. And that brings up Moreland, who's a C batter. Okay, we get a 4 there. Oh, not a great roll. And that's going to be a win for Moreland. A 3-4 to a C batter is going to be a walk. So back-to-back walks for the pitcher, Thurman. Puts runners at first and second. With Ron Say coming to the plate. First and second, 2 outs, and a little bit of a mess here. Brewing for Thurman. And let's see if he can get a high roll. He can't, and he just can't seem to get the advantage here. So it's going to be Ron Say with a 2-2. Say is a C. So a 2-2 to a C is going to be a single. And we're going to send that runner from third. So 2-1. That's going to be tough to beat. And they get thrown out again at the plate. So that's keeping San Diego in the game, as that is the 3rd out of the inning. So try to score on the Ron Say single, and they actually get thrown out of the plate on a hard single. And that means no runs scored for the Cubs. All right. I'm looking at the next batter. You know, it's not a great batter. If it was Durham, maybe I wouldn't have sent him. Let Durham try to get that advantage. But why not send him? You got a guy who's throwing a no-hitter in the first 3 innings. So why not? All right, we got Wiggins, Gwen, and Garvey coming to the plate against Steve Trout in the top of the 4th inning. So the game is feeling good so far. Don't know if it feels like too many rolls for everybody, but some games just, they do have quite a few rolls. A 1-6 and 1-6 is going to be okay. So Trout with his first strikeout of the day. I like the battle aspect of it. I like that good hitters are represented fairly with the opportunities. So picks off 1 there, picks off 1 there, and loses 1 there. So it's going to be 2-1 to the batter, and he wins that battle against Steve Trout. So this is going to be Tony Gwen with an opportunity. A 3-5 to an A is going to be a base knock for Tony Gwen. Brings up Steve Garvey. It's going to be a 4-1 type of situation. I'll let Garvey hit away here. See what he can do. And that's going to be a win to the pitcher. And so a 3-4 to an A pitcher is a strikeout. So strikeout number 2 in the inning. And got a runner at first base and 2 outs with Kevin McReynolds coming to the plates. So a 6 and a 5, that's going to be tough to beat. And he cannot beat it. So win goes to Trout, and a 3-4 again is going to be a strikeout. So he strikes out the side but he does give up a hit in there. His first hit of the game. To none other than Tony Gwen, who breaks up the no-no in the fourth. So we got 2-0 as our score. Had a couple runs in the first inning, otherwise some traffic, but no runs scored as we've gone along. We still have Thurman on the mound, and he's facing off against Steve Trout. Trout with 4 scoreless innings of 1 hit ball, and Thurman having given up a few more opportunities on the bases, especially, he's got 3 walks so far. And he'll be facing off against Davis, Durham, and Boa. So bottom of the lineup for the Cubs, it'll be 2 against 1. We got 5, and there's a 6, so a good roll there from Jody Davis. And Davis wins the at-bat. So there's a 3-4 to a C, and that's going to be another walk. So now we have an even strength at bat. 5 and a 5, that's a good roll. So Durham's got a 6 and a 4. So he's going to lose this one, but win that one. And it comes down to this roll. Good roll. And even better roll. So Durham comes through. A 1-3 to a B is going to be a triple for Durham, and that's going to be a run-scoring triple. As he rips one to the gap in right center field, hung up in the air for a long time. And Durham motors into third with an RBI triple, and that extends the lead to 3-0 Cubs over the Padres. And that brings up Larry Boa to the plate. Boa facing some odds here. So we got he's going to have to win 3 rolls in a row, and he can't do it. So let's see what happens. A 4-5 to a B pitcher is going to be a fly out to left field. And let's go ahead and try to score that runner from third. Again, tag ups work just like the extra base. So we got 1 roll for the defense, and you got to beat a 1. And hopefully you can. And that's going to be a sac fly. So that's out number 1, and that's going to score another run. So sac fly is an RBI. So 2 runs in the inning, and the score is now 4-0 Cubs over the Padres. We go to Trout, the batter, nobody on and 1 out, and Trout's going to be facing off against Thurman, the starter for San Diego. We get a 6, and Trout putting up a fight here, but not for long, as that goes to the pitcher. A 2-5 to a B pitcher is a strikeout. So Trout strikes out for out number 2, and that's going to bring up Dernier. He's got a roll of 6 here, and he can't. So looks like Thurman's going to get out of this one. 2-3. 2-3 is going to be a fly ball to right field, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Cubs give up 2 more runs, and it's 4-0 Chicago over San Diego. Let's see if San Diego can do much here. Don't have any stamina worked out in the game, so that could be a problem. One of the things, you need. I've been playing. If you get past, once you get into the 7th inning, I've been playing. If the starter makes it into the 7th inning, then they do a -1 on their rating, right? So Trout would go from A to a B. So I've been playing it that way. Not not penalizing him with the next inning being another grade down, because even at his tiredest, a starter is probably not going to pitch like a C. You know, an A is not going to pitch like a C. So just one level down for the rest of the game if he stays in the game, which is enough. You can see it's enough to create some havoc on the bases, and sort of simulate that getting tired and not having your best stuff. All right, so it'll be Martinez, Kennedy, and Salazar as we head to the top of the 5th inning. And I'm sort of meandering my way through this game because I'm still thinking through, you know, through the cards, everything I need, and you know, just, is it okay? Is everything playing okay? So top of the 4th, it's going to be Martinez, who's a C, against Trout, who's an A. And there's a 4 opportunity here. And he knocks that off. So you can see that if you get 3 low rolls, you know, you get a real chance here. And it's a 4, so it's got to be a 4, 5, or 6. And he can't do it. So 3-5. So on a 3-2 pitch, I'm going to ground out to Ronce. 5-3 on the putout. And now it's going to be 4. So we have a D batter in Kennedy. Kennedy needs a 6 and doesn't get it. So Trout with a 1-4. That's going to be a fly ball to left field. And Salazar is the 3rd baseman in this game, starting off the bench. He grounded out to 3rd base his last at bat. He puts up a little fight here. He's going to need another 6 to keep this at bat alive. He can't do it. And a 5-6 is going to be a pop out to the 1st baseman. So the 1st baseman, Durham, catches that little pop fly on the infield. And that puts down the Cubs in the 5th. Or sorry, puts down the Padres in the 5th. Still 4-0. In this game 2 of the NLCS. It's going to be Sandberg, Matthews, and Moreland, so sort of the heart of the order for the Cubs coming up in the bottom of the 5th. So a 6 and a 3. The roll for Sandberg is a 5 and a 4. So we're going to pick one off there, going to pick one off there. And then it's still 2-1, Sandberg. So Sandberg wins that roll there against the pitcher. And a 6-6 to an A batter is going to be hit by pitch. So he gets on base. Second hit batsman of the game. Somebody else get hit by pitch. Gary Matthews. So these 2 come back here. These 2 are here. And this is the Sarge. So 4-2. We get a 3-1. So that's a clean win for the pitcher. A 3-5 to a B pitcher. Is going to be a grounder to the shortstop. So this only plays to first. And on the fielder's choice, Sandberg's going to move up to second base. Brings up Keith Moreland. There's a 3. Moreland rolls a 5. And another 3. Let's see. Oh, Moreland rolls a 2. And so that's going to go to the pitcher. A 2-5 to a B is going to be a strikeout. That'll be a big out number 2. And that brings up Ronce with an opportunity for an RBI here. And he can't come through. So a 2-6 to a B is going to be a grounder to second base. Second baseman is Wiggins, and he's up with it. Over to Garvey for out number 3, and San Diego escapes that inning. No runs, still 4-0 is our game. And we've got Templeton, Thurman, and then back to the top of the order with Wiggins. Gary Templeton loses that at bat. Steve Trout still going strong. A 1-6 is a strikeout. And that's strikeout number 4, as he's sort of gotten gotten the feel for the strikeout. And it's going to be Thurman. Thurman goes down. And a 2-4 is going to be a grounded out to second base. So out number 2, and that takes us back to the top of the order with Wiggins. Got a 3 here. And Wiggins loses that at bat. And it's going to be Steve Trout. With a 1-2-3 inning, that's going to be a pop out to the shortstop. So high pop fly, just into shallow left field for the third out of the inning. And that's going to be all she wrote. So only 1 hit so far through the first 6 innings for Steve Trout. No scoring opportunities at all for San Diego. Cubs have a 4-0 lead. And it'll be Davis to the plate, facing off against Thurman. Got a 3 there. And Davis rolls a 6, so it takes care of that. And a 5, that's a tough number. And Davis can't overcome the at bat. A 6-6, that's going to be a ground out to the first baseman. So let's put it on the right one. It's going to be a ground out to first as he pitches to the pitcher who's covering. And it's going to be Durham this time. 2 against Thurman. The San Diego pitcher is giving up 4 runs and 5 1/3. We got a 2 here. And we got a 6. So a 2 and a 1, a 6 and a 1. That's going to be a complete and total win for Durham. 1-2 to a B is going to be reached on an error. So first error of the game for either team. And that brings up Larry Boa to the plate. And he loses the at-bat to Moreland. A 5-6 to a B is a pop-out to the second baseman. And that's going to be 2 outs now. I have no idea what the speed is for the base runner. That's one of the things I think I need to put in there is speed, so that we can get steals and things like that into the game. It's going to be stealing. Base runner rolls 2 dice, defense rolls 1. The highest 2 dice are compared. And then if a steal card is to be played later on, then whoever plays that steal card gets an extra die to roll. So if it's the defense, then it sort of makes it an even sort of thing and kind of helps against steals. And if it's the offense, then it really pushes them into a good situation to steal a base. Okay. Got a runner at first. Got the pitcher. Not going to pull him at this point. He's got a 1-hitter going, so no need to pull him. They don't have a lot of great options coming off the bench necessarily, and runner's not really in scoring position or anything. They're up 4-0. So I'm going to let him hit for himself, Trout. So it's a 3 against 1. And don't want Trout, excuse me, don't want him to lead off the next inning. I don't want him to lead off the next inning. And that's going to be a 2-6 to a B. Is a grounder to the second baseman. So he's 0 for 3 in the game, and that's going to take care of the 6th inning. We go to the top of the 6th. It's going to be Gwen, Garvey, and McReynolds. A really good opportunity here for San Diego to put some runs on the board, as we are going to wait until after the 7th inning, and then we'll drop him down. So 7th inning, he's still going to be an A-rated pitcher. So we got a 5-2-2, and for Gwen, oh, just a horrible roll. He does pick off one of these, but these two go to the pitcher. So it's like a 2-1 at this point. So we got a 4, and Gwen. Gwen is battling. Got one more to overcome, just a 1. And Gwen does it as he gets the advantage in the at-bat. A 1-4 to an A batter is going to be another single. So his last 2 trips to the plate have resulted in singles, and Gwen is at first base. Let's go ahead and try to steal with Tony Gwen. It's going to be worth it to have him at second base with a couple of, few opportunities here. So let's go ahead and steal with him. So 2 to the runner, 1 to the fielder. We got a 3, and either one of these has to beat a 3. And he cannot, as he gets thrown out at second base trying to steal. So we'll call that a caught stealing. And that is a tough one. That's a tough one for San Diego. All right, that's why people don't like to steal, because it can ruin your opportunities here. So it's going to be 4-1. Trout against Steve Garvey. And Steve Garvey loses that battle. And Steve Trout, a 2-4. That's going to be a grounder to second. All things being equal, that would have been a double play anyway, and erase the runner. So I guess you could look at it that way. McReynolds is a B. So we got 2 6s here. That's a strong roll. And 2 2s is definitely going to beat that. And so Trouter with the strikeouts. And I believe that's his 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to end the 7th inning. So San Diego gets a hit. Can't get the runner around. They get caught stealing. And just not a lot of offense here for San Diego against this very strong Cubs staff. All right. Back to the top of the order. For the Cubs, it's going to be Dernier, Sandberg, and Matthews against Thurman, who's still on the mound. So that'll be a 5 to a C. Okay, and they win that. Thurman with a 5-6, and that's going to be a pop out to second for out number 1. And facing off against Ryan Sandberg. Sandberg is 0 for 1. He's got a walk and a hit by pitch. We got a 4-1 here. And up against a 4-3. That's going to be a win for the batter. So Sandberg with a 1-2. And a 1-2 is going to be reached on an error. Second error of the game for San Diego. Oh, let me come back here. And this will be Gary Matthews to the plate. This will be an even roll for the Sarge. He's also 0 for 1 with the walk and hit by pitch. So we got a 5-4. That's a strong roll from the pitcher. And a 5-3 means we're going to wind up with a 1-1 roll. And even though they're two crappy rolls, that one goes to the batter. That's a 3-5. 3-5 to a B is going to be a single. And so it's a base knock. Runner goes to second base. 1 out. Runners at first and second. And that is going to bring Moreland to the plate. Moreland with a good opportunity here. A 1 and a 3. And he takes care of that roll. Let's see. A 2 is not a very high roll. And a 1 is even worse. So that goes to the pitcher. A 1-6 to a B is going to be a strikeout. So that's a big out for Thurman, as he's starting to get to the end of his day. Let's see. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it down to him in the next inning. We got Ron Say coming to the plate. There's a 6. That's a good roll. And Say matches him. Oh, another 6. Got to have a 6 to keep. Oh, yeah, Ron Say. He says, say hey. And he's a C batter. So a 1-3 to a C batter is a double. And that's going to be clutch from Ron Say, as that scores the runner from second. And so he comes around on the double. He's going to go to third. And that's going to be runners at second and third. The score now 5-0. Cubs over San Diego. Davis is the catcher. And he comes up with a run scoring opportunity here. Still rolling big numbers, but the Cubs also rolling big numbers. So a 3-5 to a B, and that's going to be a grounder to shortstop. 6-3 on the putout, and that'll be the third out of the inning. The Cubs do get 1 in the 7th, and coming out for the 7th is going to be Steve Trout. So instead of 3, he's going to drop down to a B pitcher, and we'll see how that affects the opportunities for San Diego. He's going to be facing off against the bottom of the order, so it's going to might not be too bad for him. So the first batter is Martinez. A 3-4 is here. So let's see what Martinez has. He's got a 4. Another 4, and it's got to be a 4-5-6. Oh, and he can't get it. So Trout wins that one. A 3-5 to an A pitcher is going to be a grounder to the third baseman. We go 5-3 on the putout. Martinez with 3 ground outs on the day. Brings up Terry Kennedy. Kennedy, a D pitcher. And let's see what he's got. Or a D batter. Second roll is a 1. So it's guaranteed that one. And a 4. Okay, so it comes down to this. Kennedy has to have a 4, 5, or 6 to win the at-bat, and he did. He got a 4. So Terry Kennedy has an opportunity. A 3-6 on a D batter, and that's going to be a base knock for Terry Kennedy. So against all odds, Terry Kennedy gets the base hit. And it's going to bring up Salazar to the plate. Salazar also a D. And got a 5 here. And that's just a 4, so that's going to be a win by Mr. Trout. 1-5 is going to be a grounder to shortstop, and that's going to be 6-4-3. And an ending double play. So a tough one there, as there was some promise for San Diego, and Steve Trout comes through with the ground ball double play. Let's go ahead and dip into the bullpen. We're going to have to... So he goes 7 innings and gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 5 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 walks and 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks. Okay, so that's the start for Thurman. And let's go to Dave Dravecky, I guess. He's a B pitcher and a lefty. Okay, so we're going to bring him in this inning. Dravecky is a 2. Durham is a 2. So new pitcher in the bottom of the 8th inning is Dave Dravecky. And that's going to be a win from the batter. As we get a 2-4. 2-4 to a B is a walk. So Dravecky comes out and promptly walks the first batter that he sees. And that's going to bring up Larry Boa. Boa is a D batter, so we're going to get a 3 here against a 1. So 4 is not a great roll, but good enough to win. And so Dravecky with the win there, he's going to be a B. That'll be a ground out right in front of home plate. Only play is to first, and so the runner's going to go to second on the fielder's choice. And that brings up Trout. Let's go ahead and get a pinch hitter for Trout. And it's going to be, oh gosh, let's say Bosley. No, he's a lefty. Let's say Woods. So we get a pinch hitter. He's a right-hander. He's a C. So we get a pinch hitter for Trout, and he's facing off against a B pitcher, so 2 against 1. Okay. And that's going to be a win there. Got a 3, got to beat a 3, and he does. So pinch hitter with a runner at second base, 2-4 to a C is going to be a walk, so he takes that walk. And runners now at first and second with 1 out, and it will be Dernier to the plate against Dave Dravecky. So we got a 4 there, and that's a 5. That's takes 1 out. You got to beat a 3, and he can't beat the 3. He's got a 2. There should be 1 over here, and so the pitcher wins that battle. A 3-4 to a B is going to be a fly out to center field, and that'll be out number 2. And 1 more out to get, but it's an uphill battle against Sandberg. Let's see if the pitcher can win. 5-5 is a really good roll. Not as good as 6-5. So Sandberg wins that battle. And a 3-4 to an A is going to be a base hit. So a single there, and I'm gonna hold everybody. Bases loaded now with Gary Matthews to the plate. 3 and a 4, and a 6 and a 3 is a clean win for the batter. And Matthews makes contact. 5-6 is going to be a bomb for Gary Matthews as he stands in and drills the Dave Dravecky pitch for a grand salami, and blows this one wide open. And 4 runs are going to come in to score. Tough one there for Dravecky. And Moreland is going to be the batter. So 2 down in the inning. He was just a pitch away from getting out of it. Got a 4 there. And Moreland is up to the task. Got a 6. He's got to roll a 6, and he can't do it. And so this is going to go to Dravecky. A 2-5 to a B is going to be a strikeout. So 1 batter too late as the damage is done. The Cubs get 4. on the Gary Matthews Grand Slam, and we got to bring in a new pitcher for the Cubs. Let's bring in Brewstar, who's a B pitcher. And a righty. Trout goes 8 innings. He gives up 1, 2, 3 hits, no runs. It's like 0 walks and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks. So excellent start there for Steve Trout. And Brewstar is a 2, a B, so he's got 2 dice, and he'll be facing off against the bottom of the order. So Templeton. In here, this is the top of the 9th inning. He loses that one. And a 1-1 to a B pitcher is going to be a grounder out in front of the plate. So 2-3 on the put out. And let's get a pinch hitter. So this will be Brown. Pinch hitting. And he's going to be a C. So 2 against 1. It's got to be a 5, and he does. And pitcher rolls a 2, and that's going to be to the batter, Brown. He has a 5-6. A 5-6 to a C is going to be a bomb. So he goes Bombzola off the bench, and he ruins the shutout. What is it? 4, 5, 9 to 1 now. And Brewstar comes in and promptly gives up a bomb to the pinch hitter Brown coming off the bench. And it's going to be Wiggins against Brewstar. I don't know if it's Bruster or Brewstar. It sounds like Brewstar, but there's a 4-5 to a B, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field. Deep but in play, and that's going to be out number 2. And now he has to face up against Tony Gwen. Gwen with 2 hits on the day. He's 2 for 3. Well, that's a really good roll right there. And it's enough to win one of those. So we'll save this off. This one goes this way, this one goes that way. And Gwen still has a 2-1 advantage. Oof, and he's going to win this at bat. So Tony Gwen, a 3-5 to an A. He is going to be another single. So three singles for Tony Gwen as he reaches out and touches that one. This will be Garvey against the Cubs right-hander. And it's a 5. Garvey with the win. And here's another opportunity for Steve Garvey. And he wins that one too. And one more. And here's an opening. Garvey rolls a 1. That's a tough one. He only had one opportunity to fail, and he failed. So 1-5. 1-5 to a D, to a B pitcher is going to be a grounder to the shortstop. So we go 6-3 on the putout. And that's going to be all she wrote. San Diego does get on the board with 1, and that will be the end of the ball game. As Cubs win this one 9-1, and Brewstar comes in. 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, no Ks. Javecki came in for 1 inning, and I don't think I indicated the pitcher change. Javecki comes in for 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and a K. Not a great outing for him. Thurman's going to take the loss. Trout's going to get the win, and I'm not really going to go through and total up anything here. But this is the game, and you can see what do we got? We got 8 hits for the Cubs and 2 errors for San Diego, and it's going to be 4 hits So 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors for San Diego, 9 runs on 8 hits, and no errors for the Cubs. 6 walks for the San Diego staff, no walks for the Cubs. Big difference there. And looks like the player of the game is going to be maybe Sandberg or Matthews. Matthews with 4 RBIs, Sandberg 3 runs scored, and he got on base just about every way that you could, and 2 hits for Gary Matthews. So Matthews had a good game in game number 1 as well. Jerome with the RBI triple earlier in the game. So this is how the game is shaping up. So definitely playing definitely smoothly enough in the core engine to feel like, a really good baseball game. I don't know. I think other people have to try it and see if the sort of risk style attack system is working. Maybe you can let me know in the comments if you think that this sort of roll system works very well, or is it a little too convoluted? Does it create any sort of drama as you're watching, or maybe as you're playing? And these are largely going to be the same. What's different between each team is usually the strikeout percentages. So some teams strike out at a higher rate. Some of it's based off of, how good a pitching they have. These are 2 good teams, right? So they're going to look very similar. But each of these, if you sort of examine them, they're not the same. You can look down here in the home run numbers. They're not the same. The Cubs hit a lot more home runs than the Padres did, especially at the top of the order. So they have 1A batter, and he's got 65% of his base hits are singles. So this is actually, I figured out all the stats for these players. So all of these players here that I added to the card, all of them are figured into these percentages. So Gwen is their only A batter. So all of these, this is basically Tony Gwen's numbers and his percentage of these. If you add up all these types of plays, then he's got 65% singles and, I don't know, 20% walks or something like that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25% walks. And then, his triples percentage is kind of high. So it's 4 or 5%. And so that's reflected here. And then for the B batters, it's all the B batters, which is Kevin McReynolds. So this is Gwen and McReynolds, and then everybody else. So all of the C batters combined. I looked at all their stats, and this is, these are their percentages as you come out for that. And then all the D batters. I did not take the pitchers into account, only the position players for the D batters. And that's how I did it for the Cubs as well. So you've got, 1A batter, and this is basically Sandberg. And then you got a couple of B batters, and that's theirs. And then a lot of C batters, and this sort of the average of the C batters. And and then the D batters. This is sort of the average of the D batters as well. And then for the pitchers, mostly I'm just manipulating the Ks. So the strikeouts, you can see there's 10% strikeout rate here. Each of these numbers is not a double, is 5%, and the double is about 2.5%. So 1, 2, 3. It's about 15% for the Bs and about 20% for the A pitchers, which is, it holds true throughout history. Anybody who would fall into the A category, which is like a FIP of 3.5 or less, they're going to be in that 18 to 20%, sometimes 25. So Rich Gossage, Goose Gossage, his strikeout percentage is around 25. So it might be a little low for him in the A category. but we have other A pitchers, you know, so it's sort of a range for them. But I did try to put the strikeouts on the most rolled. So 7 is the roll with the highest percentage. You're going to roll more 7s than anything else out of these dice. So I tried to put them on the 7s. You can see all 3 of these are 7s, and then this is an 8. So 6, 7, and 8 are the most rolled of any of the dice when you have 2 d6s like this. 7 is the most, 6 and 8 are the second most. So if you want something to occur, quite often you want to put it at a 6, 7, or 8. You can see here, double plays are all on 6s, a 1 and a 5, and a 2 and a 4. But as you go down here, double plays are on a 10, which a 10 is the third least amount of roll. So that's why I put them up here, because double plays should probably happen less for a bad pitcher and should happen more for a good pitcher. So there is a little method to the madness there of where you put things and how often they get rolled. I think that was a question from one viewer. You know, it's interesting to use an 11 to 66 instead of doing the 36 possibilities of APA or something like that, where you have an 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, that type of thing, where instead of doing the low to the high, if it comes out like this is a colored die, then you would use the colored die first and then the other one second. So the colored die would represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the other one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 too. But for me, it's automatically lowest one first. But if you were playing with like this is a 32, then you get 36 possibilities. But for me, I like the variability. I don't like necessarily that all of the rolls are equal. I like that I can sort of manipulate everything a little bit more because not all of these things are equal plays. So maybe that is a little helpful for understanding that. So this is our final 9-1 Chicago over San Diego. And if you want to learn more about the process of creating this game, I haven't really talked about these cards, but you can see that it's got all their starters. Pitchers, it's got a picture of their stadium that they're playing in, so you kind of know where you're staying or where you're playing. Wrigley Field's obviously easy, but in San Diego, the next game will be at Jack Murphy Stadium. So a good game here, well-pitched game by the Cubs as Trout comes in and shuts down San Diego over 8 innings. Not a great start for Thurman, but I gave up 5 runs, and not good for Trevecki coming in. He gives up the bomb to Gary Matthews, senior, not junior. All right, I think that's it for here. If you haven't subscribed, click subscribe, and I'll be posting new content pretty often. And we're up over 100 subscribers, so that's nice. Hopefully you'll be the next one. And if you want to be notified of new videos when they're posted, then you can click the bell icon, and that will send you a notification. Keep up with the series designing a tabletop sports game, and I'll be posting new content about that, periodically. So subscribe, and you'll get notified of that either in your feed or in your email, however you choose to get that notification. And it's been an interesting series so far. Hopefully it's been interesting for others, but it's been interesting for me to sort of document the process of this game and sort of how to think about creating a sports game. What sorts of things do you need to consider? What are the steps? How do you go about doing it? And maybe it just stirs some new people to go out there and create tabletop sports games that are unique and different. So far, this one doesn't feel so unique or different. It kind of probably feels like a lot of other games, but we're going to bring in some elements later on as we sort of get the core game under control, and that'll help to sort of take it to another level. All right, I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.